Well, hi there, boys and girls. I'm Colin Daniel from riffninja.com. And today I'm in the mood to answer questions from my students. And of course, that's going to benefit everybody, including you. This is for Rick. And he asked me the question, how do I connect scales low to high? Well, that's a heck of a study. I'm not going to be able to cover it all in one lesson, but I can give you a start. How's that? How do you connect the scales low to high? Well, you have to pick a key first, I guess. That's the first thing. Let's take a look at E minor for a minute. Now, some of the basic scales I teach, this is an E minor diatonic, 7-note scale. The thing is, if you know the diatonic scales, then the blues scales are pentatonic. They follow the same suit, right? Now, you have a pentatonic scale up here, or the diatonic scale up here too, at the 12th fret. So I've got E minor here open, same pattern. Now visually it doesn't look the same, but if you didn't have the nut here, you know, you'd be playing a fret, you'd be playing behind the fret. So the pattern, then it looks visually the same, but they are the same notes. Now you can either just know the notes or know the pattern, because there's many different approaches. Some people more pattern players and less from the note. Eventually, though, you do want to learn, you know, the notes on your guitar. But if you're not at that stage yet, that's okay too. But patterns work really good. If you were to take a look at this E minor pattern, wherever you've got an E minor or wherever you've got an E, you have that, so you can start joining the scale what I call symmetrics, which is pattern oriented. You got to find the next E. You know, depends on your vision with that. A lot of times I teach my students a couple scale patterns, and then I teach them to move the scale patterns around and repeat them. One of the best examples is the climb, the pentatonic climb. Now this doesn't start on the tonic. Really what you're doing is you're repeating the same notes that are in the scale anywhere you can find them on the fretboard, right? So for example, here I start on a D. It's the E pentatonic minor scale, starting on the 7, the 7th note of the scale. So what do I do with this thing? Well, if there's a D here and an E here, so there's a D and an E here. Same pattern. The notes are D, E, G, A, B. So I can play the same thing here. D, E, G, A, B. You know? D, E, G. So same thing, it'll repeat again. D, E, G, A, B, right? D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B. Now you notice I had to readjust my pattern a little bit because I'm crossing the B string. But it's really the same notes. D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B. Right? Here the same thing. D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B. Keep going. D, E, G, A, B. Right? Now, if you took these two scales, you could play them. You could join these two scale patterns if you were more into the scale pattern. If you knew the pattern here for the root 5 climb was like this, and for the root 6 it's like this, what you'll notice is that they overlap, right? For example, you could go like this. There's D, E, G, A, B. Well, what's next? D, E, G, A, B. You know? What I just did was I went from the root 5 scale to the root 6 scale. So depending on how you relate to it, this is an E pentatonic minor starting on the 7, the D, right? Some teachers might call us Mixolydian. I don't relate it to that. I relate it to the scale degrees, but you can call it what you want. The tonic is E. We're in the key of E minor. Pentatonic is just the 5-note scale. So you definitely have to understand your keys, and you have to know your notes or your patterns a little bit. if you know your pattern, like this is a root 5 climb. Root 5 is a 5th string root, right? There's my E. I mean, these climbs are a great way to start to join your scales. This time I just took the last 2 notes and went up another position. See, it depends on my mood. I'm mixing pentatonic and diatonic there. But again, we'll go over this one more time. D, E, G, A, B, right? This is a tonic. We start 1 tone below the tonic on the 7, the minor 7. D, E, G, A, B. Here it is. D, E, G, A, B. Anywhere you can find a D. There it is again, right? D, E, G, A, B, right? Anywhere you can find a D. D, E, G, A, B, right? You know? So I've just taken the 2 patterns and joined them because I know that this pattern overlaps this one. And there are many ways to join it. It depends on where you're going or what you're doing, but like I was showing you earlier, I could go, so here I am at the 5th fret, and I'm going to go D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B. D, E, G, A, B if you like. Depends on what you're doing, right? D, E, G, A, B. I'm going to go to D now on my 4th string. D, E, G, A, B. I'm going to go to D here. D, E, G, A, and we're right off the fretboard. So you could literally go from the 5th fret, and I was right up on the 18th, 19th fret there. That covers the whole fretboard, doesn't it? Yeah, and the idea is, if you were to know your scales, like the 3 main scales to know would have to be the pentatonic minor, the diatonic minor, and a relative major. If you knew those 3 scales, you could pretty much use this approach and cover the fretboard, because you're always going to have other scale positions, because in between these scales we have other patterns. Wherever we can find the notes that belong in the key, that's where we have another scale. Some are more convenient fingering wise, some are less convenient fingering wise. Depends on the size of your hand and what you already know. Your best bet is to use what you already know, and you'll discover that all the other scales that you're looking for are either in between the scales you already know, or they're actually inside them too. Anyways, I hope this has given you some insight